Hi guys, I'm David Frankel. I'm a professor of economics. Today I'm going to show you something that I've discovered recently that doesn't involve economics at all. It is in fact how to make a drink, a diet drink, that has virtually no calories, that's filling, and that will allow you to delay meals. I start drinking it early in the morning, and when I wake up, and I'm able to skip breakfast, and often delay lunch until 2 or 3 o'clock. And in that way I eat maybe 2 meals a day, and I'm able to keep fairly fit, as you can see. I'm able to keep the weight off. So I also want to emphasize that I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you nutritional advice. You should consult a doctor about weight loss, and I make no claims about the health benefits of this drink. Okay, so if you have any concerns about it, you should definitely consult your doctor to make sure that it's right for you. Anyway, let's have a look at how it's done. So first of all, let's go through the types of ingredients and equipment that you need. First of all, I use a brew coffee maker. Okay, this one is made by Breville. Secondly, you need a pot to mix it in, to mix the drink in. This is it's a 3-quart, 2.8 liter pot that I brought from the US, but I think a 3 liter would do just as well. You'll need a 3 liter container to put the drink in afterwards. You also need, this is 25% liquid sucralose. It's a concentration of 25%. It's very strong. You can order it on eBay. You'll need a funnel. Okay. You will need some sort of a container. This is used to pour the drink in after you mix it, and then but before you put it into the bottle. It's a bit easier than pouring it directly from the pot. You'll need a hand mixer. I use Cuisinart with the whisk attachment. A coffee grinder, or you can buy ground coffee, of course. Any kind of cocoa, unsweetened cocoa will do. Obviously you're going to need coffee, either ground beans or ground coffee. This is the second kind of rare ingredient. This is the Glucomannan. I buy it from eBay. It's not expensive. And it's important to use, first of all, I would not recommend using the capsules because people have had problems with them because they expand in your stomach, but the powder is fine because it expands in whatever drink you're making before you actually drink it. Okay, in addition, so actually you'll see me using this is just the same thing as this. It's the liquid sucralose. I put it in a smaller container for convenience. Then you'll need some measuring spoons. Okay, you need a tablespoon, you'll need a teaspoon, you'll need a half a teaspoon, and you need a 1/4 teaspoon. Most people have those. And you also need a 1/4 cup measure, okay, for the cocoa. So the first thing that we do is we prepare the sweetener and the cocoa in the pot. So what you need to do for one pot, which you'll make almost 3 liters of beverage, you need to put just 1/4 teaspoon of liquid sucralose in the pot. That's all you need to sweeten that much beverage. Okay, so I put the sucralose in the pot. Secondly, you need to put the cocoa in the pot. I usually put in a heaping half cup, okay, but this is obviously obvious to taste. If you like more cocoa, you can use more or less. Put that in there. All right. The next step is we brew the coffee. You'll be making 2 of these for 1 pot, and I fill the water up to the 8.5 cup mark, and it brews down to about 8 cups, and so 2 of these pots of 8 cups is enough to fill up that 3 liter pot. Okay, so what's happened now is we've finished brewing the first pot of coffee. We take the coffee and we're going to pour it into the pot carefully, okay, so that it doesn't spill, hopefully. Then what we do while the coffee is still hot is we mix it a bit on the lowest setting. So we should plug this in. Mix it on the low settings, basically just to dissolve the cocoa in the hot coffee. So just mix it around a little bit, not too much. It's not necessary to do a lot because it will melt. Okay, that's about enough. And then the next step is to make the second pot of coffee. Okay, we've now finished the second pot of coffee. So the next step is to pour that coffee into the pot. It's another 8 cups, so that was 2 pots of coffee of 8 cups each. Okay, mix it a bit. The next step is to mix in the glucomannan. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to put the glucomannan in a cup. As follows. So this is the glucomannan that I showed you before. I just put some of it in a separate container. It's a bit easier to deal with. First of all, we measure out 1 tablespoon, 1 level tablespoon. Okay, put it in the cup. Then we measure out 1 level teaspoon. Put that in the cup. Then we measure out 1/2 teaspoon, another 1/2 teaspoon. Put that in the cup, and that's exactly how much we need to get kind of a nice smooth consistency. Close up the glucomannan, because if any liquid gets in the glucomannan, it'll turn into gel, and you don't want that. You can keep the glucomannan dry. The next step is we go back to the coffee drink. Okay, we turn the mixer on. This time I'm going to turn it up to about 4 because I wanted to get some motion in the coffee. I want it to move in a circular motion. And then I'm going to slowly pour the glucomannan in so that I blend it, so that we get a nice even blend. Okay, just holding the mixer in one place to get the coffee to move in a circular way. Then I gradually pour the glucomannan in. Okay. Then mix it a bit. The more the better, basically. So I would mix it for, I don't know, about a minute at least. It's important to get it uniform at this stage. Otherwise it'll be liquidy on the top and thick on the bottom, and that's not fun. Okay, that's about right. So the next thing I do is, it's very difficult to pour the coffee directly into this container. The container is light, it'll tip over. So what I do is, I pour the coffee first of all into this container, which is more solid, okay? It's a big solid container, it has a big flat bottom. So we pour the coffee into this container. This container turned out not to be quite big enough for all the coffee, but that doesn't matter. And then we take the other lighter container. Okay, the nice thing about this container, it has a handle. It has a handle and it's much easier to hold from the top. So we put the funnel in the jug, and then we just pour the coffee drink into the jug through the funnel. And it's pretty important, not critical, but it's a good idea to try to do this fairly quickly after you mix the glucomannan in, because it'll quickly thicken and then become a little bit harder to do that with. Although it's not a big deal. You can still do it even if it's thick. Okay, pouring the rest of the mixture in, get it in there. And then we're done. And the next step is just to take the jug of the coffee mixture, put it in the refrigerator, and refrigerate it overnight, and then it should be fine to drink. Well, that's about it. The next morning you should have a tasty coffee mocha drink that is filling, that fills you up and lets you avoid meals until later in the day, and thus keep the weight off. So tasty.